Namaskaram. So, day 27 of the SaveSoil journey. Yesterday, we were looking at how being in touch with nature can help us become more aware of all life around us. So, today I thought we'll start by exploring how we can cleanse the five elements and how we can be in touch with the five elements. As you know, our body is composed of five elements: water, earth, fire, wind, and space. So these are the five elements which the body is composed of. And I just thought that let's see if we can cover each of these elements, how one can be in touch with these elements, and also cleanse or purify these elements within us. So those of you already doing Bhuta Shuddhi, this is a very powerful process to cleanse all the five elements within us. But even if you're not practicing Bhuta Shuddhi, what are the ways in which you can try to be in touch with these elements and purify them? So we'll look at that step by step. Today I thought we could cover about the water element, because water is the major part among all the five elements. About 72% of our body is water. So it is very important how to cleanse this element within us, and how we can do certain things at home where this can help us to cleanse the water element. So one of the best things which we can do, especially when it comes to water element, as you know that 72% of our body is water. For women, even the percentage is even more higher. Actually, it could be around 80%. So you will see that especially keeping this water element within us in a state where it is where you can keep the element in a state where it is purified or where it is cleansed is very, very important. So in yoga we always recommend drinking water which is stored in a copper vessel. So if you can store water in a copper vessel, keep it overnight, and then have it next day, that is the best way to purify the water element. Because if you just drink water from a copper vessel, it removes many toxins from the water, and it also consecrates or energizes the water. So this is something which you could try to do. Apart from that, if you can also see that whatever water vessel you are using for storing the water, if you can keep it in a separate space where it is free from any smells and substances, and also if you can light a lamp and place it on top of the pot, even place a flower. If you can do this, this will be very, very effective in energizing the water. Sadhguru was also mentioning about Jeevarasam, that if you just keep a Jeevarasam, which is a tool available at Isha, which is to consecrate the water, which has solidified mercury and vibhuti in it. So if you keep the Jeevarasam inside your copper pot or water vessel and place a lamp on top of it and a flower as well, if you keep this arrangement and drink water from this on a daily basis, he was mentioning that most probably you will never get any chronic ailments. So it is something which is very highly effective, because water being the major part of the elements in your system, it is very important to keep it in a cleansed state. So drinking consecrated or energized water which is stored in copper vessels can help in that. Apart from that, whenever you have water, if you can just hold the vessel from which you're consuming water with a certain sense of gratitude, and just look at the water with a certain sense of gratitude, and then have the water, it can change the way the water behaves in the system, because water has memory. So please see if you can attempt this. Also, if you can use only organic materials to clean the copper pot or whatever copper vessel you're using, so that's something which will be beneficial. And if you can please try these things in terms of how to connect with water element, it will be very beneficial. I also remember one more process which Sadhguru had mentioned about in one of the programs. I think it was Grace of Yoga program last year, in which he was mentioning about how one could drink water from a copper vessel, drink as much water as possible from a copper vessel, and once you finish drinking as much water as possible, like let's say about 3-4 glasses, then you can go and stand in the sun for about 15 to 20 minutes, and that can give you a huge boost in energy. So he was mentioning about this process, that how just doing this can energize the system in a huge way. by drinking water from the copper vessel and then standing in the sun for about 15 to 20 minutes and soaking in the sunlight. So you can try these things to see how you can connect with the water element. So if we keep ourselves in the best possible way by being in touch with the elements and by purifying the elements, that will help us to become much more conscious and aware. And only, as we looked at even earlier, that only if we are conscious and aware will we be able to even look at what is happening around us, whether including the soil as well. Because only if we are conscious as a human being, only when we become conscious human beings, will we be able to create a conscious planet. So please see how you can make this happen. It would be nice if you could share if you're already doing any of these things, or if not, you could experiment with this and share with us. And we look at the other elements also in the next few days, how to be in touch with them and how to cleanse them. Namaskar.